so I don't want to talk about this with anybody. I don't even want to acknowledge that it's real because I'm so brokenhearted over it. But the only thing that makes sense of why the Lord would allow this is for maybe my story to be encouraging to other women to know that they're not alone or whatever. As a Christian woman trying to conceive and all those things. Sorry, I probably sound weird because I've been crying all day long. And I also have a cold. But in my last video, I mentioned that I had gotten some faint positive tests, which meant I was pregnant, and I was so excited. But I was, just wanting to wait until some darker tests. And then last night, I started bleeding. And I was like, well, maybe it's just implantation bleeding really late on, like 2 weeks later than it's supposed to come, or 3 weeks later than it's supposed to come. And it kept coming more and more dark. And it turns out I had a chemical pregnancy. And a chemical pregnancy, for those of you who don't know, is just a really early on miscarriage, which usually happens about 5 weeks along. And that's exactly when it happened for me, about 5.5 weeks along in my pregnancy. And so part of me just this morning was just mourning of, Lord, I took a clear blue, which I had always been too nervous to take because they're just so clear. They say, on a little screen, it says, not pregnant or pregnant, just out there. It's nothing you can read too much into or too little out of. It's just clear. And my husband and I took it together. And it took me for so long just to turn it over and read it because I was so nervous. And finally we read it and it said not pregnant on it. And that was heartbreaking. But I had also known that it was probably going to be that because of so much blood was coming out. It was like a full-blown period. And it just doesn't seem like the Lord. It doesn't seem like something he would do to allow me to get so excited about, not having my period. And, sorry, I just got a text. And it just doesn't seem like him for me to not get my period and to have all these perfect signs and symptoms that seem just like a normal pregnancy and then to lose the pregnancy. Where's God in that? I'm sure you guys feel that way. And that, I'm not saying that legitimately. I'm saying that as like a normal human question to ask. As a sinner before God's throne, I say, God, where are you in this? Because you got my hopes up. You got me so excited about having a baby. And I'm not going to have a baby 9 months from today or whatever. But maybe 10 months, maybe 11 months, maybe a year from today. If I got pregnant, which I did, I can do it again. And maybe this next time, it will actually stay. Maybe this next time, the implantation will actually stay and the fetus won't die. It says, I read online, like chemical pregnancies or early miscarriages are fairly common. Like 50 to 60% of first pregnancies turn out to be chemical miscarriage or chemical pregnancies or early miscarriages. So that's slightly comforting. Sorry, I'm so congested, but I'm actually going to turn down my music. Sometimes I like to listen to worship music just to surround me with truths when I'm tempted just to believe lies. I just want to encourage any other women out there who have struggled with chemical pregnancies or struggled with the doubt of, okay, I've had this. Am I ever going to get pregnant again? And the only thing I have to hold on to is my God is the God of life and of death. And he chose to give me the joy of that life for the few days that I had it and that I held on to that joy. But in heaven, I will always have the joy of life and life to the fullest. So we don't have to fear not ever getting that joy of life again on this side of heaven because we already have the satisfaction of that deepest desire fulfilled already in the future tense in heaven. I hope that makes sense. I hope that's encouraging. But that's what I'm going to hold on to. And of course, I'm going to keep praying that the Lord will provide me life in my womb that lasts 9 months and then is birthed into a full baby. I'm going to keep praying for that. And I'm going to keep praying for that with sun stand still kind of faith. But I already know that desire to have that life and to have that joy and a life being inside of me. That's already fulfilled in heaven because God has given me life and life to the fullest in heaven. So anyway, I hope that's encouraging. I hope if you're watching this, you feel comforted in the joy of the Lord and in the truth of His word, and you know that you're not alone in the sadness of early miscarriages or chemical pregnancies or whatever you want to call them. You're not alone. It's so confusing. Oftentimes, I don't even know how to classify it to people. Do they even know what a chemical pregnancy is? Do they know how to mourn and grieve with me, even though I didn't carry it for half of its term and then it died? And it's still really sad, So anyway, it's a hard situation. It's so confusing, and I don't even want to talk about it a whole lot because I start crying about it. But you are not alone, and those are the truths I'm holding on to. So I hope they're encouraging to you too. Have a blessed day.